Geobyte.
Hi students, welcome to the Geobyte Diploma series. We have been discussing the properties of liquids under fluid mechanics. In the last three videos, we discussed problems after discussing some of the properties of the liquids. In this video also, first let us discuss some of the properties. Then we can do the problems on those properties which we are going to discuss. Look at the three properties which are written. The first property is cohesion, is also called cohesive force. Dear students, cohesive force means the force of attraction between the two or more similar molecules is called cohesive force. You take the water in a glass, the force of attraction between one water molecule and other water molecule is called cohesion or cohesive force. Similarly, there is a attractive force between the glass molecules and water molecules. That attractive force between the glass molecules and water molecules is called addition or additive force. Now come to the surface tension. Surface tension means the surface energy or the energy which is maintained by the surface of the liquid per unit area is called surface tension, or the force which is acting on the surface of the liquid per unit length is also called surface tension. Surface tension is denoted by sigma. Therefore, surface tension equal to surface tension denoted by sigma is equal to surface force per unit length. Look at the units. Surface force is in Newton and length is in meters. So Newton per meter is the unit of surface tension. Now this surface tension is the liquid property. Surface tension is the liquid property. Next, capillarity. Next property is capillarity. Capillarity means the rise or fall of liquid level. The rise or fall of liquid level from its original level is called capillarity. Look at the diagram. You know, this is the original level of the water. Let this is the water, original level of the water. Once I immerse a capillary tube, this is the capillary tube. Once the capillary tube is immersed in the water, the level of the water is rising up to certain level. The level of the water is rising up to certain level like this. Similarly, if I immerse the same capillary tube in the mercury, the level of the water will be falling up to here. The level of the water is falling like this. This is how the level of the water is falling once the capillary tube is immersed in the mercury. That kind of rise of liquid level for a height of h, or fall of liquid level for a height of h, is called capillarity. I hope all of you understood. The rise or fall of liquid level from its original level is called capillarity. Then this is the surface tension direction, surface tension direction, surface tension direction. Now this is the angle between the surface tension and glass tube. Remember, for capillary rise, that angle is less than 90 degrees. For capillary falling, this is the angle, this is the theta. Here theta is greater than 90 degrees. Here theta, for this case theta less than 90 degrees. Remember, capillary rise will occur. This is called capillary rise. Capillary rise will occur only when addition, this point is important, only when addition is greater than cohesion. When addition is greater than cohesion, capillary rise will occur. Capillary rise will occur. But if the cohesion is greater than addition, capillary fall will occur. Capillary fall will occur. So that is the difference between the capillary rise and capillary fall. When you immerse the capillary tube, this is the capillary tube. When you immerse the capillary tube in the mercury, capillary depression will occur. When you immerse the same capillary tube in the water, mercury capillary rise will occur. That kind of rise or fall of liquid level from its original level is called capillarity. That capillary height can be found by capillary height. That capillary height H equal to formula, proof is not required for you, 4 sigma cos theta by rho g d, that is the formula, where sigma equal to surface tension, theta equal to capillary angle, rho equal to density of the liquid, d be the diameter of the capillary tube. This is the diameter of the capillary tube. The diameter of the capillary tube denoted by d. Let me write those notations, where sigma equal to surface tension, unit is Newton per meter, theta equal to capillary angle, it is in degrees, rho equal to density of the liquid, d equal to capillary tube diameter, The density may be in kg per meter cube and diameter may be in meters. That is the mathematical formula for deciding the capillarity or capillary height. Look at the next property, vapor pressure. Vapor pressure is like this. Look at the water in a container. Once the water surface is exposed to atmosphere, the liquid molecules or water molecules are continuously evaporating. That evaporated water vapor will join with the atmospheric air. Then whatever the partial pressure exerted by these vapor molecules in the atmosphere is called vapor pressure. Once again, once the liquid surface is exposed to atmosphere or water surface is exposed to atmosphere, water molecules are continuously evaporating. That evaporated vapor molecules are joined with the atmospheric air. Then whatever the pressure which is caused by, whatever the partial pressure which is caused by this evaporated water vapor is called, whatever the partial pressure which is exerted in the atmosphere by the vapor which is available from the liquid surface is called vapor pressure. I hope you understood. Look at the definition what I wrote. I have written like this. The liquid molecules are always escapes. एक minute. The liquid molecules are एक minute. The liquid molecules are always escapes from the liquid surface to the atmosphere due to evaporation. The partial pressure exerted by these vapor molecules is known as vapor pressure. Whatever the partial pressure which is exerted in the atmosphere by these vapor molecules is called vapor pressure. Remember that vapor pressure depends on the temperature. For example, if I take the atmospheric air at 20 degrees centigrade, at 20 degrees centigrade temperature, the partial pressure of, that means vapor pressure is 2.447 kilopascal. That is the vapor pressure corresponding to 20 degrees centigrade. Similarly, corresponding to 100 degrees centigrade, the vapor pressure is 101.325 kilopascal. This is the vapor pressure corresponding to 100 degrees centigrade. Next property is bulk modulus and compressibility. Next property, bulk modulus, defined like this. The ratio between, let us use one more one. Okay, the ratio between increase in pressure and volumetric strain is called bulk modulus, generally denoted by K. Assume the liquid surface is initially maintaining the pressure P1. Assume the pressure is increasing from P1 to P2. By the time the pressure is increasing from P1 to P2, volume may be changing from V1 to, volume is decreasing. By the time the pressure is increasing, definitely volume decreases because of the compressibility in nature. Only ideal liquids cannot entertain the compressibility nature, but real liquids are entertaining, or real liquids are changing their volume by increasing the pressure. So because of this increase in pressure, dP equal to what? Increase in pressure. Because of the increase in pressure, volume is decreasing. dV equal to decrease in volume. Change in volume. Definitely this change in volume is negative, because as the pressure increases, volume decreases. Then volumetric strain equal to dV by original volume V1. So I can also write V, simply V. Change in volume by original volume is called volumetric strain. Definitely this volumetric strain is negative, because as the pressure increases, volume decreases. Then the ratio between this increase in pressure and volumetric efficiency is called bulk modulus. Therefore, bulk modulus K equal to ratio between increase in pressure and volumetric strain. This volumetric strain is always negative, because as the pressure increases, volume decreases. It can be written as minus dP by dV by V. dV by V, it is equal to minus V dP by minus V dP by dV. That is the volumetric strain. I hope you understood the meaning of bulk modulus. That is the bulk modulus. Now come to the compressibility. Compressibility denoted by C is the reciprocal of the bulk modulus K. Reciprocal of the bulk modulus is called compressibility. Remember, bulk modulus unit is Newton per meter square because volumetric strain is free from units. Therefore, pressure unit is equal to bulk modulus unit. So now the compressibility unit is meter square per Newton or 1 by Pascal. Compressibility is the reciprocal of bulk modulus. The reciprocal of the bulk modulus is called compressibility, denoted by C. Unit is 1 by Pascal. So with this, let us complete these properties. Now, this video is not completing. I will solve some problems for you on these properties. Look at the problem. For the increase in pressure of 800 bar, increase in pressure, given data, increase in pressure I can mark as dP equal to 800 bar. But what is the 1 bar? 1 bar equal to 10 power 5 Pascal. It is equal to 800 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square or Pascal. The volume decreases by 3%. Volume decreases by 3% means indirectly dV by V is equal to minus 0.03, 3%. First let me write like this, minus 3%, because as the pressure increases, definitely volume decreases. It is equal to minus 0.03 or minus dV by V is equal to 0.03. Therefore, you are asked to find the bulk modulus. Determine the bulk modulus of the liquid. Bulk modulus K equal to ratio between increase in pressure and volumetric strain dV by V. It is equal to 800 multiplied by 10 power 5 divided by 0.03. Simplify this value to get it around 2.66 into 10 raised 9 Newton per meter square or Pascal. One more problem. Look at the another problem. This is a most important problem, given like this. A fuel injection pump of 8 mm inner diameter Let me write the data. Given data, inner diameter D equal to 8 mm equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 meters. Next is to deliver against a pressure of 160 bar. The pressure to be raised, pressure to be raised equal to dp, it is equal to 160 bar. You know 1 bar equal to 10 power 5 Pascal. It is equal to increase in pressure or pressure to be raised equal to 160 into 10 power 5 Newton per meter square. Newton per meter square. Okay. Next, at the time of closure, the fuel volume in the barrel is 2 cc. Here cc means cubic centimeter. So volume of the liquid or volume of the fluid, V equal to 2 cc means centimeter cube, cubic centimeter. It should be converted to meter cube. 1 meter equal to 100 centimeters. From this 1 centimeter equal to 1 by 100 meter. Then 1 centimeter cube equal to 1 by 100 cube meter cube. So it can be written as 10 power minus 6 meter cube. So 1 centimeter equal to 10 power minus 6 meter cube. For converting from centimeter cube to meter cube, it should be multiplied with 10 power minus 6. 2 into 10 power minus 6 meter cube. Bulk next 1 minute. Determine the distance moved by the plunger before the delivery begins. Before the delivery begins, how much distance the plunger is moving. K for the fluid given 1100 into 10 power 6. Bulk modulus. K equal to 1100 into 10 power 6 Newton per meter square. Distance travelled by the plunger is how much? Distance travelled by the plunger let that is x is how much? It can be found like this. Bulk modulus K equal to dP by dV by V. From this, first find the dV. From that you can find the distance travelled by the plunger, because dV equal to area of the plunger multiplied by distance travelled by the plunger. From this we can decide the distance travelled by the plunger. So for that, bulk modulus K equal to 1100 into 10 power 6. It should be in meter per Newton per meter square, is equal to This is the bulk modulus, correct na? Bulk modulus. dP 160 into 10 power 5 divided by dV divided by volume. Volume equal to 2 into how much it is, volume 2 into 10 power minus 6. 2 into 10 power minus 6. From this get the value of dV. Get the value of dV. That dV I got is, I am ignoring the negative sign, because negative sign just represents as the pressure increases, volume decreases. So dV equal to, I am getting 2.9 into 10 raised to minus 8 meter cube. That is the change in volume. Next, this change in volume must be equal to area of the plunger multiplied by distance travelled by the plunger. dV equal to area of the plunger 5 by 4 into d square. Generally it is with circular cross section, into x. Plunger is with circular cross section. dV equal to 2.9 into 10 raised to minus 8 is equal to pi by 4 into diameter. How much it is given? Let me, diameter is 8 mm. 8 into 10 power diameter, 8 into 10 power minus 3. So 8 into 10 power minus 3, this is the d whole square into x. You simplify for x, I am getting x equal to point, simplify it, definitely you will get the same answer, 0.579 mm. That is the distance travelled by the plunger. Therefore, distance travelled by the plunger x equal to 0.579 millimeters. I hope you understood these two problems in addition to the theory concepts. With this, dear students, I am ending this video. In the next video, we will discuss the pressure, property pressure, and pressure measuring devices like piezometer, U-tube manometer, and Bourdon's pressure gauge. Pressure measuring devices will be discussed in the next video. Please wait for the next video to conclude this properties of the liquids or properties of the fluids. With this, dear students, I am concluding this video. Please go through the video 1 or 2 times and share this video to all your friends, mechanical and civil diploma students, whoever is actually required, and subscribe our channel to encourage us. Thank you for watching this video. Have a nice day.
Geobyte.